What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Bari, back once again with another lit video. So today we're gonna be reacting to Hernandez Govan part 2 of Vlad interview. Young Dolph killer Cornelius Smith saying Dolph had a hit on Yo Gotti. So for to get y'all caught up, I know a lot of people don't know about it. Some people don't know, but anyway, Hernandez Govan was supposed to be the mastermind of the murder of Young Dolph. He was supposed to be the one that plotted everything out, but he was proven not guilty of all charges of conspiracy and murder. So he's a free man. So his first real interview was by Vlad. We reacted to the first episode or the first clip. So now it's part 2. So we're gonna be getting into it, and we know how we always do after we watch it, we talk about it. So let's get into it.
Well, 2021, a few months prior to the actual shooting, you were actually working with Straight Drop to try to sign him to CMG.
I was.
And
I think he was like his manager or something.
Some interactions happened at your house. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. I was basically trying to put the deal together for Straight Drop. Years prior to that, it's a well-known DJ from Memphis, DJ Lil Larry. He's a friend / associate of mine, reached out to me and wanted me and my brothers to possibly give him the advance money for Moneybag Yo. We met up at my brother's car lot. We listened to the material. And for whatever reason, my brother decided against it. Look where Moneybag Yo is at right now.
Yeah.
So we was real bitter about that, you know, so, and shout out to Bag. But, so, you know, when Justin came around, you know, Justin was talented, and we didn't want to miss out on this opportunity, you know. My whole goal was to try to get out the streets and stop, you know, hustling, especially at the age.
So that's a big key right there, y'all. That's really a huge key. I feel like they could have used. That's a really big key though. If y'all sit back and think about it, that's really good. I ain't gonna. That's really crazy. I did not know that. So what's crazy is that I know a person that was helping out Moneybag Yo too before he was on. So that's really crazy, and that's how they really be going. Like I said, like. In my real life, I do videography, so I be around a lot of artists. I've been in the music game for about 4-5 years now, so I know how like the ins and outs go. Like a lot of the artists don't just drop a song on like social media or whatever and blow up, and like these labels just mess with them. It always be like some people that's kind of behind the scenes that nobody really know about. So like for example. For example, I'm gonna use somebody that I know. Like for example, I know Corey SSG. Just say I got a homeboy that's rapping or whatever. I know Corey got a record label. He I got direct contact with Corey SSG, right? For example. But just say I don't have direct contact. Just say I know his homeboys or whatever. I know his homeboy like Boosie. He got a homeboy named Maine, right? And I got a homeboy. I'm gonna use Mun for example. My homeboy Mun, he rap or whatever. You say he want to get signed, cause like if you don't get signed, it's really hard to come out of pocket everything, and stuff like that. So that's the whole point of getting signed for the ones that don't know. So he might not be able to just say for example, Mun might not be able to just directly talk to Corey or whatever. But see, I'm the middleman, so it's like I'm gonna go talk to his homeboy. I got some artists that I think y'all that'll be good for y'all labor, that'll help y'all make some money. He got 2 songs that just did this and did that. He got a background, he got a catalog. Then get in touch with Corey, see what he say. They his close homeboys, so all they gotta do is get him on the phone. He talk with him. Yes, say he fuck with him. Hey, then they hit me. Hey, yeah, we go send this out. Y'all meet us in the A on just say the 26th of August, like tomorrow. I tell Mon, hey, we're gonna talk to you. We're gonna go slide to the A tomorrow and have a meeting with Corey. Then he fuck with him, talk to keep mom fuck with the contract. Then he signed, but I'm the middleman. Then he blow up. Then shit like that. So basically, that's what he was trying to do. They probably had the money. They probably was the one with the money in the city. And the dude he was talking about was kind of like me, how I hit up Corey. I was hitting up his homeboys, but his brother, Govan brother, didn't really believe in Moneybagg. Was like, nah, I don't really fuck with his music. I don't think, that's kind of like if Corey homeboy would have been like, I don't really fuck with my homeboy music or whatever. Then just say we went to somebody else and they fuck with us and he blew up and he big. So basically he was just saying that like he not trying to miss out on an opportunity with this artist. Like somebody else came at him, he said, I knew what happened last time and we missed out on a big bag. So this time I'm gonna take a chance, take a risk with it, but this time it just went left. So that kind of explains why he had connections and started talking to Juke, because it was like, hey, I got this artist that I want you to look at. I see what y'all did with Moneybagg. So here's another artist. Y'all fuck with him. And so he got out, he gave him an artist and he got out the way. He probably just waiting for the back end on some shit. Because I ain't gonna lie, with that music shit, like, not gonna lie. When he was like, he was trying to get out the streets, like, it's really like, to be with that music shit, bro, like, you gotta really be like all in. Like, you gotta really like be all in. But he probably got him connected to where they were just dealing with it. He probably had a manager with CMG, so he was like, I done did my part. I'm just waiting on the back end. So whenever you do this, they might have had a payment plan. They might have had this, but they still was tied in. But when he made his first big song, he probably like, hey, you just pay me on the back end, and that's how he probably was moving. So then after the straight drop would got on or whatever, he probably would have just had his back end. That he would have been his manager, where he was booking his shows and stuff like that. But he was signed, you know what I'm saying? Like he'd have been signed, but he'd have been his personal like manager, if that makes sense. Like you be signed with somebody, but you still could kind of choose who your manager is and shit like that. Like he probably would have been booking his Govan would probably been booking straight drop shows.
And so
my bad, the screen had went black. So he probably gonna be like booking his shows, promos, managing his music, how different stuff like that. And he probably gonna get a part of it because he brought him the artist. So like whenever they signed, just say he would have signed for like $500K, he might would have broke Govan off 100 or 200, or just say he'd have signed for 800 or a mil, he might would have broke him off 300, or he might have got like a percentage of his sales and different stuff like that. Then they got shows, so he might get a percentage of his shows and shit like that. So then he'd have got out the hood. So that kind of explained why he had a connection and dealing with whatchamacallit. So I ain't gonna lie, that's really a big key. I ain't gonna cap. I know I was rambling, but I had to try to break it down to the best of the ability. Hope y'all, understand what I'm saying. But
I reached out to my brother and asked for his assistance, and we started trying to put the deal together. And I reached out to Juke and asked him to come by and check the material out. And that's how it started.
See?
Okay, so Juke is at your house. Is Straight Drop at your house also?
Correct.
Okay, and you guys are talking about potentially a deal with CMG.
Yes. We were basically at my house. Juke was telling us how to promote the music, how to get Justin the type of buzz that was needed to actually sign to the label.
Yes, that's another thing too. That's another thing. Promo, like another thing about it, like having promo, all that shit really matter. Like you gotta have, like, a lot of artists not gonna sign you if you don't have like a buzz and stuff like that. So he was just giving him the game. So then now this shit really starting to add up. Now I ain't gonna count.
Just all music business, just giving us the, the inside and out about how to, move this thing forward as fast as we could.
Okay. But then at one point, Cornelius Smith showed up at the house as well.
Correct. Yeah, Cornelius Smith. I met Cornelius Smith through an associate of mine named Bobby Carter. When I was released from prison, I bought a house on my grandmother's street in Orange Mound where I grew up, and I met Cornelius through Bobby. And so on this particular night when we were having the music meeting, it was a knock at the door. And I went to the door and it was Cornelius. And I was under the impression that he just wanted some X bills or whatever like he normally did. So I told him to come back later. I was trying to get a deal signed for drop. And he was like, no, it's important. So I stepped outside, and that's when he mentioned to me, he was like, man, they ain't trying to do nothing about Dolph trying to kill Gotti. So at that point, I never heard of that incident. You know, I heard of it, if you reverse it, I done heard of it that way, you know, the attempted hits on Dolph, but at that point, I hadn't heard anything about someone trying to do anything to Gotti. Mm-hmm. And I told him that wasn't my business, and I wasn't finna go back in and mention something to Juke that he hadn't said anything to me about. And so I just left it at that. Mm-hmm. And went back in and finished discussing the music and the actual deal. And that was that on that.
I ain't gonna cap. I ain't gonna lie. I got it. Norman Vlad be that. I ain't gonna lie. That's really. I ain't gonna lie. This some real tea. I ain't gonna cap to y'all. Like, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. This really interesting. Cause like, I'm really playing how this music stuff really go. Like, cause like I said, I've been in the music game and been around a lot of people and been in some rooms and stuff and know how like all this shit go. Like I know a lot of people that's not into the social media stuff. They just like consumer. Y'all think these people just you know they just drop music and they automatically blow up. No, it's a lot of behind the scenes work with this stuff, bro. Like you. So I'm gonna give y'all a whole breakdown. I'm gonna try to go a little bit slower, and like so basically he was gonna be like an indie label. So the ones don't know, look up an indie label. Indie label is basically like somebody that's an indie label is a small label that just help you get on and promote your music. Like they pay for like studio time, music videos. They try to get you booked with local shows. If they got some plugs, they might get you like to open up to like, you know, major shows around that way, or you know, stuff like that, like a little indie label. So they not sometimes sometimes your music might really be good where you blow the indie label up, and sometimes, but it really depends on the artist. Like if you have a good artist, he might know his worth and might not want to sign to a big label. He might, you know, thug it out with you until like, you know, and stuff like that. Then most likely with an indie label, you don't really pay. You'll pay them back, but mostly likely the label that wants you gonna buy you out of their contract. So basically, they keep tabs of whatever they paid for, and just say like they paid for studio time, music videos, shows to get you on, and different stuff like that. Travel. So just say they might have came out 20 to 30 bands or whatever, and the small label will give you right out of the thing. I'm gonna get your 30 bands, and they gonna sign him. They gonna give you a whole check. Just say Straight Drop would have signed for, just say 700,000. So he'd have gave that 30,000 out of 700,000. He'd have gave 30 bands to how much he put into him or how much they ever talked about in the contract, you know, so they could make their money back. Like I said before. But only thing I think is kind of weird is that how Cornelius walked over there and knocked on the door and was like, "Hey, you heard about that? They were doing what, you know, Gotti." But that's how, like I said, that's how I be in the hood. Like he probably had a connection with you know, Cornelius, and they probably just be shooting the shit. But after he was like, he probably just came over to chop it up, and he was like, he probably didn't know that got it, whatchamacallit was over there, but he might have wanted, you know, some niggas might just say shit just to get into like, just to say stuff just to get, he could have came in the house, like, he might have, you know, niggas want to feel important, so he could have just been like, "Hey, I'm doing something, talking with, I'm trying to get dropped, you know, sign, I'm about to, you know, I'm talking to Juke," and he might just be like, "Hey, shit." He could have possibly made that shit up. "Hey, you heard that shit they trying to do on Dolph? Dolph got a hit on Gotti." So he might have then just stay. If Govan would have been able to say, "What? Come in and talk." Then he could have came in and told told Jook, hey, they gotta drop you on to do this. So that's how that shit be going. But then flip back on Straight Drop, like he was trying to get signed so bad, and like bro, like these niggas will do a lot. They'll do anything to get signed, bro, for some bread. Like these niggas will do anything, like, cause like I said, like he was trying to, like some niggas try to show their loyalty. Like for example, like y'all heard that shit when YoungBoy dropped his song, he was like, join NBA, you gotta catch your body. Like yo, play that lyric back. Like y'all, like when I heard that line, I always thought how many niggas probably really went and did that shit and probably sent a video to YoungBoy. Like if YoungBoy go through his Instagram, he probably got niggas in that bitch that probably really went and did that shit and sent him a video like, I got me a body, can you sign me? I put my bottom dollar on it if somebody that did that shit. Cause niggas that do that shit, bro. Niggas assigned to niggas just for like the hype, bro. Like niggas assigned just because like it's who you are. Like niggas assigned for 100K. Niggas assigned for a chain. Like a lot of niggas assigned to a label, a whole 360 deal where they not getting nothing. Where they got they masters, they getting their money off of YouTube. They getting their money off of the Apple Music, where they not making nothing, but they just got the popularity on Instagram that they signed to CMG. So I don't know, but that was a good interview that I feel like explained a lot. Y'all comment down below how y'all feel about it. Do y'all feel like this was just a music bit, basically a music deal that went wrong? Types were like where it was just like do y'all feel like it was like basically a music deal that went wrong? Where do y'all feel like Straight Drop backdoor Govan, or y'all feel like that Govan had a whole? Do y'all feel like that Govan was like, hey, you go do this, you sign, or whatever? How do y'all feel like that went about? Cause like it's 100K, that could have been 100K that he was signed for. Hey, you go do this, you got the 100K, then we got you a deal. Like you gotta think, put that in the nigga head that's fucked up. Like that's another way to look at it. Like, cause like if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that Straight Drop took the bread and ran, or took some of the money and ran, and then give it to Cornelius. Cause you gotta think, Cornelius was just a drug addict in the hood, so he was a nobody. Straight Drop, you know, he was. I feel like he had his shit popping a little bit. I feel like they looked at Cornelius as like just a drug addict that he ain't really had nothing going for himself. So he was a low key a crash out anyway. So they could like, and you know, everybody that fuck over the crackhead in the neighborhood, you know, they fuck over him. They they crack jokes, get on his ass, you know, shit like that. They fuck with him in the hood, but they they don't really fuck with him like that. So he was like, shit, hey, I'll break you off. And you gotta look at Straight Drop. He was like, shit, I'm trying to get signed. So it's like he might be like, hey, 100K, I can run off on this nigga. He ain't gonna fuck with me. He ain't got nobody that's gonna really rob for him. I got all these niggas, he ain't gonna do, he gonna fuck over that. I'm gonna get this nigga whatever, a couple hundred dollars. He's straight. I'm gonna keep the whole big bag. Then I got signed to a label. And if I get away with this shit, I didn't call the body, so they know I fuck with them. You know, they know I fuck with them. I didn't risk my life for you. So now, then Jook really probably had hate for Dolph. So it was like shit. He didn't got a body, so he gonna probably shoot up past a lot of artists. Then he gonna, if it went the right way. But that is my opinion. Don't take me, that's my opinion. All my opinion. Don't take me for nothing. Take our shit with a grain of salt and don't feel no type of way. But anyway, y'all hit the like, comment, subscribe, turn the bell on so y'all be notified when I drop some more lit reactions. But yeah, y'all comment down below how y'all feel about the situation. Do y'all feel like this, was a valid, made everything valid and stuff like that? But yeah, your boy Bari, we out. Gang.